mass. Our top story at 5 o'clock. A pit bull breeder is savagely mauled to death by the very dogs he was raising in Compton.
His mutilated body was found inside a blood-stained kennel on his property. KTLA's Chris Wolf joins us live from Downey with details about the gruesome discovery. Chris?
Yeah, Cher and Court, gruesome discovery indeed. Veterinarians here at the LA County Animal Control Center in Downey have been working with these pit bulls. We understand they have been sent out for DNA testing. Authorities believe the victim was actually killed sometime last night, maybe around 7:30, 8 p.m., and his body was in that dog pen for hours until his girlfriend found him this morning. Sky 5 was overhead as a woman frantically scales a fence, trying desperately to avoid some very agitated and apparently dangerous dogs on the ground below her. They have already killed her boyfriend, whose ravaged body is just feet away. The deadly pit bull attack happened at a home on North Thorson Avenue in Compton. Investigators say the woman discovered the gruesome scene Friday morning in the backyard and called 911.
There is surveillance footage of the incident surrounding the property, and it was discovered that as our victim was in the backyard apparently feeding them, it sounds like they attacked him and ultimately he succumbed to his injuries.
Law enforcement personnel, firefighters, and LA County animal control officers quickly converged at the location. First responders say the initial challenge was to corral the dogs into a neighboring yard to gain access to the victim. The graphic footage, which we will not be revealing, shows the dogs ripped off most of the 35-year-old man's clothes, in addition to fatally biting and mauling him. Neighbors and animal advocates are stunned.
People need to take better care of their dogs. People need to understand that these dogs can kill somebody and hurt people.
It should have never happened. This time it happened to the owner of the dogs, but normally it happens to children, elderly, defenseless people, and somebody definitely needs to be held accountable for this. There has to be some kind of law and order here.
Animal control officers removed 13 pit bulls from the property, male and female, 5 adults, 8 puppies. Investigators are collecting DNA swabs and forensic evidence, trying to determine which dogs actually attacked and killed the victim. Experts will be examining the dog's general health and behavior and aggression. If any animal is determined to be unsafe for human interaction, it will be euthanized. And one man who does a lot of plumbing work in that neighborhood tells us that he has seen some pit bulls running loose in the streets and that, quote, they are not to be messed with.
Last Friday, tragedy in a backyard. A 35-year-old father, Dominic Cooper, killed by his dogs.
He has 3 beautiful little girls, and so I really want to just let everybody know he wasn't malicious with the dogs in any way. He really did care for these dogs. He was selling the dogs to make money.
13 pit bulls, 8 of them puppies, were taken by Animal Care and Control. This was the report last week.
Our victim was in the backyard apparently feeding them. It sounds like they attacked him and ultimately he succumbed to his injuries.
Glenda Ford says she's Cooper's friend from high school. Says he lost his life when 2 of the dogs started fighting.
He stepped in between the dogs, and that's when the dog grabbed onto his thigh and, clamped on an artery, trying to fight another adult dog. And he tried to, stop the bleeding, and he, stumbled back to the kennel and just laid down, but because the dog had bit an artery, he ended up bleeding out.
Fox 11 News has learned that the dogs have been euthanized. Neighbors had reacted this way.
He was breeding them for a living, which is very, very sad.
They could have hurt one of us or one of these kids walking home from school. That is a horrible way to go.
Cooper's father has set up a GoFundMe page to support the 3 daughters. What would you want to say to his daughters about the friend that you knew?
Just that your dad was loving. He cared so much about you. If he was here, he would want to walk you down the aisle.
So very sad for the family. We have their GoFundMe page on our website.